All right, let me stop playing. All right, Judy. What's up, good girlfriends, good boyfriends, and everybody in between? So you see I'm back here in the office. It's always business as usual with me. You know, life don't stop. But, you know, I'm ready to get into this Kiki about Pose. Now, here it is Thursday, July 11th. And, you know, a couple of days later, and I had to adjust. Okay, so I had to watch it again last night. I was kind of emotional, you know. It took me by surprise, and you know, I knew something from reading the description in the boxes and everything that something was going to happen, that somebody was attacked, and from the preview from the last episode, you know, when they show you the upcoming preview, I figured maybe something like Candy was, you know, or maybe Lulu or somebody was going to be attacked. But to see what we got last night, let me put it like this. Let me put my shades on. This is how deep it is. Somebody need to give Ryan Murphy a good goddamn award, or 10 or 20 for this episode alone. Screw American Horror Story. Screw Feud, screw anything else he's done. He needs 10 or 12 awards just for this episode alone. Yeah, so Pose, episode 4, season 2, I Never Knew Love Like This. When I saw the title in my DVR box, I thought it was going to be a play on, you know, because of the title of the song. So I figured maybe it was Angel and Poppy getting together, but no. And this is a very, very important episode for us in this community as Black and Latinos in this gay community. Nowadays, this episode, it needed to be done. It needed to be done. Law and Order has done episodes where transsexuals have been killed and murdered, and they tried to find people. There have been some shows, you know, like Orange is the New Black, where, you know, the attack on, what's her name in the jail, you know, but Pose took it for where it is and gave us a true story. Shed some light on what we've been seeing and hearing for years. And I know a lot of people in the community, they go, oh, well, you know, the girls, you know, they do things to get themselves, you know, in that kind of situation. The girls are always doing something to get themselves, you know, caught out like that. But these are our sisters, you know, these are our friends. They provide us, you know, as much entertainment and love and gossip and drama as much as we give them, okay? And I love seeing... Honestly, I love seeing the drama, not the drama, but I love seeing the back and forth between Pray Tell and Candy. That beginning part was hilarious when she came out as Madonna. I was like, oh Lord, here we go once again. But for us to get into the story and then to find out that this story is going in a totally different direction than what they started. Like, baby, like I said, Ryan Murphy and Janet Mock got together, sat down and wrote this. They need all the accolades they can get because they brought us the real tea. I mean, they did. They gave us the motherfucking tea. And anybody that's been dogging Ryan Murphy for, you know, executive producing this show and everything, they need to stop, because he is really giving us what we deserve here, you know, and he is showing the world us. And to see Candy hurt and, you know, and you know, everything that happened in this show, it's just so many words. It's so hard to put it together, but let me try. So we know by this point here, this Thursday, that, you know, and I hate to give away any spoilers, but I'm sure everybody has watched and talked about it, but Candy has met her maker and has gone on. She was murdered, and this is not just something they make up for the show. This is everyday real life. Just alone since 2016, there has been over 1,000 transgender, trans-related deaths in the United States alone. Most of it has gone unsolved. There were many stories. There's been stories where, these girls then meet up with these guys and they then had sex with them and killed them and burnt them up, left their bodies in warehouses and old construction sites. There have been girls killed in the parks where they met up with a trick. There have been some kids who have who were transitioning, got beat up and killed by fellow students, maybe a boy, and if you're watching Euphoria, there's this similar kind of storyline going on right now over there. And I feel like maybe it's going to end badly there. But we're talking about Pose. It was really hard to swallow because it was almost like I was there at this funeral, because I become so invested in this show and I see myself a part of this cast because I feel like I'm there. I was there at one time. As of today, July 11th, I'm 48 years old. So my character now, me now, would be like if Lil Poppy and Damon and all of them, they would actually be my age now. Okay? So like I said, I really, really, really relate to this story. And especially being somebody who was a DJ in the gay community in South Florida. I watched a lot of the young girls, the girls, they would leave the bars and they would go and work the host stroll, as we call it, down in, Miami or up on Sistrunk. And a lot of times, if they wasn't trying to run and hide from the cops, they were trying to run and hide from these tricks that all of a sudden after a $20 blowjob, they didn't want to pay, or they were feeling some kind of embarrassment. So they wanted to try to choke a girl out. Now, I know some tough ones. But but there were a handful of them that have died in that 20 years that I was there in Florida. But this was really touching and it was really sad because I think it threw a lot of us for a loop that it was Candy who had died. And I know some people said, why couldn't it have been Lulu? Why you had to kill the dark-skinned girl? Baby, that's real life. This is not just TV. Yes, it's TV, but this is actually, for a lot of us, we're watching our lives. We're watching our past. We're watching everything from our past, and it really is, it's hard to swallow. I really love the fact, the funeral, it was tasteful. It was what I would expect, especially from one of our main characters, or let's say one of our main good girlfriends of the show. Let's call it like that. One of our main good girlfriends, one of our family, because even on Facebook, we got little houses on there now. Like, I belong to the House of Evangelista on Facebook, which is just a Facebook page. I think there's a House of Ferocity. There's a House of Winter. So, there are all these Facebook groups. So they call themselves houses. So it's hard. It's almost just like, sorry about that, Judy. I'm in the office, girl. So when they decide to kill off a character like Candy, it's almost like we losing a family member too, because we're also invested in this show. That funeral was just beautiful. I mean, pray tell, but to see Candy come back and her spirit or her spirit come back and speak to everybody, that was really touching. That's what I really love. You know, how she let Pray Tell know, hey, bitch, you know, I know we had our back and forth. I know we just constantly was always bickering. I know, you know, but she let him know, I'm a forgiving bitch. And Pray Tell opened up on why was he so hard. And I understand that because I was hard, you know, as a DJ. When you're a DJ or MC and people look at you as a father figure or a main center point of a ballroom culture or drag culture or just a gay nightclub or gay culture in general, you know, you are to a lot of people, you are family to them, you are friends to them, you are a father figure to them, you are the main thing, you are that light bulb in that room. So you may not even think how you affect people. And I guess at the time that Pray Tell was reading her, he really was just wanting her. He knew that she was a diva. He knew that she was all that she could be. But I think he wanted her to stop playing and stay in her lane. But he already knew she was special. And he just wanted her to get it through her head. Hey, bitch, stop playing. Stop going outside of what you really are. You're beautiful. You're face. You're tens across the board when it comes to face categories. Just take that, learn, take that and be happy with it and, be a mother to your house and just, stay in your lane. But she had wanted more. And she wanted to represent as much as she could because she felt like she had more to offer. I don't know. Did she speak to Blanca? I mean, I know she was sitting next to Blanca and Blanca was humming Amazing Grace maybe, or I can't remember what she was humming, but did she speak to Blanca? And I know she spoke to her mom. She spoke to her dad. And I really thought the mom was going to come in there and freak out and have a fit. But that was a very tasteful scene. Now, to see Lulu show up, Lulu acting up and wilding out over the casket, that was just her trying to hide her immense grief. And I get it. I mean, because when it happened, it was classic TV comedy. It was. But a lot of people act out like that. I see at funerals and when it comes to people dying because they're really hiding their immense grief. Angel I see why she was so torn because I'm thinking, she identified with Candy. Yeah, she really did. She identified, because she was thinking, that could have been me. And really, it could have been her at one time because she worked the piers. And a lot of the girls back then who worked the piers, they suffered the same things. A lot of people always want to refer to the girl who died in Paris is Burning. But, that's just one of many, many deaths. And like I said, it's still going on even till this day. What, 2 or 3 in Dallas in the past couple of months? But, like I said, it was very touching. It was very tasteful. I love the ending. I love when they went to send her off. And she did Stephanie Mills' I Never Knew Love Like This Before. If they had incorporated that lip syncing category, they were trying to keep the balls traditional. They wasn't trying to make it into, because there is a divide. Okay, there is a divide, and I am going to do a video about the difference because I know both cultures. Okay, and there is a major divide, and there's a difference. You have those who are traditionalists and they don't believe that drag is a art form. But voguing, posing, dancing, all of that is. And everything. But it's a part of our culture. Both are, okay. But that send off was amazing. It was truly amazing. She really was so pretty in that red dress and her hair and doing that song. That was beautiful. Whoever thought about that to incorporate that song and that whole ending, it almost is. It's just it was a beautiful ending for that character to be sent out that way. But as I was saying, I think Candy would have been slaying it almost every week, every category, every time they had that category, and it was beautiful. So I guess now we're going to start seeing, maybe once in a while, we're going to see some drag numbers being done on Pose. And I really don't know how a lot of people feel about that, nowadays in regard to the balls. Because see, a lot of people, like I said, there are some hardcore traditionalists, and the guys were right at their meeting that they had to start incorporating some newer things. And there are many different categories, and some categories I think are just made up, and they say, okay, this is what we're going. This is how it's done, even though it's just something they create. But I think they did right by Candy by incorporating the lip sync category in some of the balls. What else was there? Oh my God, there's so much. I mean, that episode, I had a tear in the corner of my eye at the by that point. It's amazing to see Pray Tell was so resistant against AZT. But beyond, Blanca was too in the beginning, but she's, started taking them. And I think we all, as good girlfriends of Pray Tell and Blanca, and the rest of the cast, we want him to take AZT. We want to see him live. We want to see him, not go out in season 3. We want to see him do, get well. He's that light bulb. Him and Blanca are those light bulbs in that lamp. They're the focus of this whole show. They're the main part, so we can't lose them. So that was that's important, and it's to see him decide to go ahead. I guess he decided to say, "Hey, I got a lot to live for. I've already lived a good life, but I lived a long life, but I need to live a longer life because he has a lot to fight for." Like he said, not just fight for ACT UP, but fight for himself and fight for his life. And that was brave of him. Because back then, like I said, I've told you before in past video, I know many people who were on AZT, and it was hell for them. Being in the restrooms, sitting on the toilets, throwing up all the time, fevers, can't get out of bed. It was, the late 80s, early 90s, 94. I was a part of the AIDS quilt, and that thing is huge. You'll see all these people who, have passed away, and a lot of people did do a lot of silly backwoods voodoo type of shit to survive. Once again, the music was outstanding and to the point. We heard Prince's A Love Bazaar with him and Prince and Sheila. Well, Sheila E's A Love Bazaar. Hold On by En Vogue. Stephanie Mills, Never Knew Love by Like This. And The Power by Snap. That's who it is. The Power by Snap. Actually, it was one of the first songs I danced to at a gay club was The Power. But yeah, so, and then there was another song in the kitchen. It was a pop song, but I can't remember what it was. So, once again, the music was awesome and great, and definitely thank you, Pose, for keeping relevant music, of that, that we all listen to and love, making that, a big part of the show. If one thing we learned, one thing I learned from this episode is, no matter what, we need to protect our sisters, do for our sisters and our brothers out here. step up when we need to step up. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed everything as much as I did. It's a busy day. Not only is it my birthday, but I'm here at work and I keep getting interrupted. So we're going to go ahead and end this Kiki. And I guess I'll see all you good girlfriends, boyfriends, and everybody in between next week. And until then, put that in your tea mug and you have a wonderful pose-filled day.